Jo Leute, hallo und herzlich willkommen. Wieder Spellforce. Wir haben letzte Folge das Unglaubliche geschafft. Wir haben Knoblauch gefunden. Ja, und so ein komisches Elixier zusammengemischt, das eh nicht wirkt. Es war sehr viel Gerede, sehr viel Ladescreen. Ja. Heute geht es aber hoffentlich heiter weiter. Mit dabei Tobi, natürlich.
Ja. Willkommen. So, Oram.
Huh?
Was?
I'm still wondering what made you leave Kalea and travel the world to study demonology.
You're not letting this one go, are you? Alright, if your life depends... To make it short, I grew up in the slums of Kalea. The shithole if ever there was one. Just imagine an entire quarter made up of half-ruined shacks with the smell of shit and piss everywhere. And way too many people. Then add the tropical heat to it and you've got the place I grew up in. My father had left right after I was born. My mother is what you call a day laborer. Though the days when she wasn't laboring outweighed the ones when she did. Whatever job there was, she took it. Even if it was cleaning the shit out of Kalaean canals. She worked hard, but it just wasn't enough. We lived in a windowless room, and I shared a bed with my mother for the first 14 years of my life. Long story short, after a while, my mother simply couldn't cover the expenses anymore. The rent for our room went up, and jobs became less and less, since the mage wars in Northander also affected the trade in Calais. So my mother looked for someone to help her out, and found one. A man named Creo. He was a loan shark who had it all. A stupid name and a shady beard, 2 lackeys who followed him wherever he went, and above all, a complete lack of what other people would call decency.
I think I can see where this is going.
Sure you can. It's not the most unique of stories, is it? To cut to the chase, 1 year later we were in massive debt. Creo suggested my mother another way of making up for it. You can fill in the blanks. I was just too weak. Over and over, this fucking bastard came. Had my mother tell me to go for a walk. And every time I had no choice but to obey. You have any idea how that feels, Tahar? To be that powerless? I remember one day I looked in the mirror and realized how much I hated the boy I saw. I hated his body with all its frail bones, his small arms, his bloodshot wet eyes. And that's when I decided to change things. So the next time he came, I fought back.
How did that go?
What do you think? He beat me up. It was the same next time and the time after that. At first he found it funny. But after the 4th time, he threatened to kill me. The only thing that stopped him from doing it is because my mother begged him to. And I had only made it worse. On my 14th name day, I left home and joined up with the Kalaean sand prowlers. My mother begged me not to go. But I just couldn't. Standing there and watching this fucking bastard walk into our room again and again whenever he felt like it, I just couldn't. The way I figured it was that if I earned enough money to pay mother's debts, Creo would leave her alone. Once I was strong enough, I'd come back. Wait for him to show up again. And then... well, you can imagine the rest.
I think I can. So who were these sand?
A group of mercenaries. They took me in and trained me. And even though they were skeptical at first, they quickly realized that my determination made up for what my body was lacking. When I was 16 and I discovered my magic, one of their leaders made me his apprentice. The arcane universities are a shithole made up of boy-loving old geezers who care more about how you wear your hair than about your magic. I'll tell you the real thing. And that she did.
Huh. So did you ever return to your mother?
Of course. On my 18th name day. I had wanted to return earlier, but a contract had me kept overseas for a lot longer than I had expected. Sorry. It's strange to talk about it.
What happened?
My mother. She was gone. Her room had been cleared out, and the neighbors told me she passed away unexpectedly just 3 weeks before I arrived. Her heart just stopped beating.
I'm sorry.
Why? It was a natural death. She was old when she gave birth to me, and the life on the Chilean streets isn't forgiving. In other words, it was bound to happen. I went into the room and looked for our stash. A small casket under the floorboards. I found it, opened it, and saw all the money I'd sent her over the years.
So...
She never used it to pay Creo as I instructed her. I have no idea why, but my best guess is that she thought it was mine since I earned it. She was that kind of person, you know? No matter how hard fate punched her in the face, she'd cling on to her ideals. Always did what was right rather than what was good for herself. And look what she got in return.
What about Creo?
Well, as you can imagine, I went to look for him. Right after I was able to think straight again. But he was gone.
Where?
I don't know. I asked everywhere and everyone who could know. And they either didn't or gave me... After a while, I gave up.
Why?
Because people like Creo are just a reality we have to deal with. I could have killed him, but what good would it have done? My mother was dead, and no amount of bloodshed and gut tearing could have changed that. The world doesn't give a fuck about your ideals, Tahar. About doing the right thing. That's just the shit we tell ourselves to help us sleep at night. You eat or you get eaten. It's that simple. I wasn't strong enough when I should have been. And that's why I couldn't help her. That will never happen again.
I guess you're right.
I am. To wrap up the story, I enrolled at the university from the money my mother saved for me. Turned out the Sandprowler mage was wrong. There were some boy-loving professors, but they knew their shit. I studied and practiced until there was nothing left to study. Then I found out about demonology and the power in it. I quit university, and I've been traveling ever since. Taking jobs as a mercenary here and there, but above all, improving my skills. My last stop was Bargagora to summon a devourer.
Huh. Interesting story. Thanks for your trust, Uran.
Sure. Hope you're happy.
Oram hat jetzt Zugriff auf eine neue Fähigkeit, Ruf der Älteste.
Ja, wenn du mit denen die Story durchspielst, kriegen die neue Fähigkeiten, also ihre Stories.
Ah ja. So, sagen wir Untergas noch Hallo hier drin und dann gehen wir zum Labor. Ich auch den letzten Ort aussuchen können, der tut nicht.
It seems unlikely, yes, but yet it happened. Iskrim, the dwarf, told me about it. He said that the rock illusion shielding the entrance vanished as soon as you spoke the words, and that it did not react to Iskrim himself.
Tell me, Tahar, what do you make of that?
No idea. A lot of strange things have happened since Leonon, and I'm still trying to make sense of them.
I can imagine.
I believe we stand on the verge of a change. Things have happened, Tahar. Things, the extent of which we have not even come close to comprehending. And they have set something in motion.
How do you know this? Are you some kind of medium?
A medium? No, quite the opposite. I'm an observer. As you have undoubtedly noticed, I lack the, let us call it emotional intensity most people display in their daily lives. That can be a challenge, but it also allows me a unique perspective on the world.
And to me, it is evident that the war your father started has done more than simply given birth to the purity of light. It was the first pebble in what will soon become an avalanche.
You're talking about the Bloodburn.
Among other things, yes. But as I said, there is more to it. All this, your journey, your role in what Rondar Lacane believes to be a vision sent by Aenir. It is only the beginning. But let us continue this discussion when I can give you more than vague, semi-prophetic statements.
All right. We'll talk later.
Why?
When something comes up. I'll go prepare for our next mission now.
Understood.
Gut, also.
Oh, hello. How are you feeling? Considering your new gift, I mean, joining your mind with the memories of a civilization, that's a thought as fascinating as it is peculiar.
I feel strange. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yes, I imagine. You know, Tahar, I have been thinking maybe I could join myself with the Nexus as well. I'm wondering if it could help me understand better the human mind.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I see. Let us continue this discussion another time, Tahar. We should ready ourselves for what is to come. Yes, what is it?
Goodbye.
Okay, da wir jetzt wieder 4 Dialoge führen, sparen wir uns mal das andere drauf, was wir im Leben reden können. Ich werde jetzt nicht ganz mit Dialogen nerven. Wir werden schon im Laufe des Displays mehrere Folgen, wo wir nur gelabert haben.
Ja,
Deswegen.
haben wir einige.
Aber das Spiel beinhaltet es halt auch, es gehört auch dazu.
Das ist korrekt. Und hat auch eine coole Story.
Ja.
Verschluckt. Ja, jetzt stehen wir wieder richtig auf. Das Auge. Mann, das war so, keine Ahnung.
Wusste gar nicht, dass wir in Mittelerde sind.
Auge sauer.
So. Oh. Mit der Stelle mit der Handlung fortzufahren, wird weite Teile der Welt unzugänglich und es euch unmöglich machen, bestimmte Quests zu verenden. Wollt ihr wirklich fortfahren? Kann ich irgendwo meinen Questlog eigentlich angucken? Ich meine, wir haben ja eigentlich nichts mehr jetzt offen groß, außer diese komischen Quassel-Quests, die immer auf sind. Dann haben wir dieses, wo wir die Items brauchen, das ist ja auch keine richtige Nebenaufgabe. Wir haben ja die Items einfach nicht. Das Einzige, was wir noch machen müssten, in der Theorie, wäre das Fieder besiegen, wenn du dich erinnerst.
Ja,
Das würde wahrscheinlich abbrechen.
das können wir gerne probieren.
Okay, dann... Okay,
Dann sollten wir aber als Tank Uram mitnehmen. Im Idealfall vielleicht anstatt Iria sogar Untergast und halt noch Bohr oder keine Ahnung, einen anderen DD. Jetzt mein Call an Gruppe.
Uran.
Uram, Gore und Untergast. Oder wir nehmen Senjolo und nehmen Iskrim, Rowan und Iana mit.
Nee.
Machen so eine Eile.
Boah, hast du gesagt wahrscheinlich, ne? Hm.
Jo, Gore als CD würde ich mitnehmen. Gore oder Rowan, einen von beiden.
Ja, da haben wir auch noch jetzt das blaue Fragezeichen, Ausrufezeichen oben drüber. Wahrscheinlich meinen die das damit. Ja, Goblin-Fleisch-Quest da.
Ich glaube, was da müssen wir von Ding hin, von Fahlungsheim.
Ja.
The Field Dog. What may sound like a myth or horror story to many is harsh reality for the 200 iron falcons of the canyon named Aeonir's Blade. According to legend, the guardian gods fought back the Field Dog, ancient mythical demons, and sealed them in a tomb. Ever since that day, the Field Dog have tried to break free, raising hordes of the undead from the sand to do their
Wenn wir
bidding.
wenigstens Leute ausbilden könnten noch. Dann wäre es wenigstens noch einfacher.
Hey, wir haben noch 3 Minuten.
Total.
You have my attention.
Die stehen in dem Portal, Schakatell.
Komm, wir verstecken uns.
Ja, 2 Minuten hochzulaufen und dann aufs Maul zu bekommen.
Oder aufs Maul zu geben.
Speicher mal sicherheitshalber.
Ja.
So. Ja, sieht dann so aus, als würden wir die andere Hauptquest starten, dass der zweite Teil des Spiels beginnt, ne?
Ja.
Guck mal ganz kurz, also wir haben wirklich nur noch diese Item-Quest, dann haben wir Schreite in Hauptquest voran ganz oft dastehen. Das sind halt wirklich nur Dialoge und ja. Und halt noch die Goblin-Quest, alle anderen Sachen haben wir gemacht.
Ja, wo Streit in der Hauptquest voran steht, da müssen wir gehen.
Genau, deswegen ja. So haben wir eigentlich dann nur noch jetzt das Goblin-Fleisch nach dem Typ hier.
Ja, dann machen wir noch das Goblinfleisch und dann machen wir Auge.
Ja.
Ubi komplett in Gold und Uram komplett schwarz.
Tiara's breath. That thing's humongous.
I told you, didn't I? Yes.
Sieht sehr nett aus, muss schon sagen.
Aus da.
Oh Gott.
Everything has an end.
Ja, hat sich mal ganz geschafft.
Probier aufzuschlafen. Wird angerufen, okay. bin mal kurz weg.
Ja.
Wieder da, es tut mir leid.
Alles gut, hab gerade.
Ich nicht, also ich werde rausschneiden müssen.
Ja, muss rausschneiden.
What is it?
In der IT hat man halt nie Urlaub. War der Kampf noch schwierig oder ging's?
Nö, es waren nur 2 Schläge.
Mach mal einen Loot auf.
So Leute, da sind wir wieder. Dämonische Essenz und Phönixfragment, Questgegenstand.
Dämonische warte. Wenn eine dämonische Essenz hat, ob damit vielleicht Uran was anfangen kann?
Yes?
33 haben wir davon. 33 haben wir davon schon. Haben
okay.
vorher schon welche.
Interessant
Questgegenstand.
gewesen, wenn es was Besonderes gehabt hätte, dass man sagen könnte, man kann ihn irgendwann beschwören als Sonderfähigkeit oder so.
Ja, ist ja gut gewesen.
Sure.
Gut, die Quest haben wir jetzt auch. Alles klar. Dann Weltkarte.
Hauptsache unsere Orks chillen da oben noch und machen gar
Also nach aktuellem Kenntnisstand haben wir nur die eine Quest nicht gehabt, wo wir damals da eigentlich diese
Genau,
Küste
wo wir
hätten.
wo wir machen
Ja.
hätten müssen, bevor wir mit der Quest weitermachen, weil das waren ja die Heilkräuter. Das
Ja,
Lager wurde ja übernommen.
konnten wir ja leider nicht wissen, also ich zumindest konnte es nicht.
Ich habe es in dem Moment auch nicht mehr gewusst, bin ich ehrlich.
Ja. Genau, so, wo meintest was denkst du, wo kann man wahrscheinlich von Fahlonsheim aus, ne?
Ja,
Zu dem Goblin-Typ.
alles blaue Ausrüstung, glaube ich. Mulandir. Ja, wir könnten es darüber probieren.
Also jetzt ist die Nebenquest machthungrig. Aber Mulandir drin, ja. Machthungrig ist die Quest mit dem Goblinfleisch.
Können es auch von da probieren oder mal googeln im schlimmsten Fall.
Ich google mal ganz schnell. Cutte mal und google mal.
Bis gleich, Leute.
So, wieder da. Wir stehen jetzt schon vor dem Gottkönig, wie er glaube ich hieß.
Oh.
Und ja, haben euch jetzt einfach den Weg und den Ladescreen erspart. Du steuerst ihn noch an, das kannst
Nee, das bleibt jetzt
ruhig.
so. Ja, nimm.
So, du hättest auch ruhig mit dem Stück quatschen können. Das ist auch nicht so schlimm gewesen.
Who is this? My strange flesh. City goblins, is it not? God King likes. Chewy, yes, but good for power. God King thanks.
Ah, jetzt haben wir die ersten 35 gegeben. Okay.
Here, take. Found in tunnels, but God King don't need. Now go. Find more meat for God King. More meat for power. God King will give treasure.
Der Fähigkeit. Der Dank wird erst eine Erkürzung geschaffen. Belebungstrank. Steigert das Maximum Wiederbelebungsladungen um 1.
Also ich würde den Fähigkeit.
Ja, ich finde auch.
Who is this? Forest goblins, he sees. Good flesh, nice and green. Power will be pleased. God King very happy. Strange flesh people friends. Again, God King has treasure. Bring him more for final treasure.
Ertüchtigung oder Belegung? Ertüchtigung.
Ja.
Who is this? This flesh good. Very good. God King likes. Power will be
Auge.
pleased.
Yes.
Dark, come. God King has present. God King grateful for so much flesh. God King will not have to eat scions for years now. This is his thanks. It's a spoon. Found long time ago in depths of caves. God King used it to cook flesh. Helps the power. You will have it. Now go. God King has no more treasures, but still needs meat.
Beides ging mir. Nice.
So.
So, jetzt haben wir nur noch Scheide der Abgasverfahren dastehen. Die Items da.
Unglaublich.
Aber das ist nur noch, ich glaube, es gibt auch einen zweiten Akt, die Items. Gut, da wir noch nicht hier auf die Weltkarte können, machen wir jetzt nochmal einen Schnitt und wir sehen uns dann gleich wieder, wenn wir auf der Weltkarte sind. Bis gleich.
Bis gleich. Wieder da. Geht weiter mit das Auge.
Ja. Wollt ihr wirklich fortfahren? Ja, diesmal wollen wir das. Haben soweit alles gemacht und wenn nicht, haben wir auch noch ein paar Spiele, haben wir auch einen Notfallspielstand. Da können wir später auch schon mal Sachen zeigen. Wenn nötig. So.
Exakt.
Wen nehmen wir denn jetzt mit bei dieser Mission? Das ist die Frage.
Also ich fand das Team gerade ganz gut. Weil wir könnten
Ja, stimmt.
Gore für Ronen austauschen, weil der hat Ahnung vielleicht. Er kennt ja unseren Vater.
Dann machen wir das mal so. Mal ein ganz anderes Team.
Iskrim's plan worked. By joining your mind to the collective subconscious of the Shapers, you were able to locate the origin of the Song of the White. The marshlands, also known as the Eye, where your father had a secret laboratory. It seems that Rondar Lacane was right. One way or another, your family is connected to the Bloodburn. Time to unravel the mystery.
Tahar, there you are.
Bertrand?
That's my name. The Harbinger sent me to welcome you.
What about Iskander? I thought you'd still be there.
I was, until recently. But that's a long story. We can talk about it later if you want. First, we need to discuss the reason you're here. There's good news and there's bad news. Let me make this short. Sentenza, General Noria, caught wind of our endeavor. He knows we are headed for the Eye.
That's bad. What's the good news?
He wasn't sure of it, so he only came with a small division of soldiers. Still, the fortress is heavily guarded, so we will need more troops to storm it.
Damn it. We left our forces in Mullandir.
I know. There was no way you could have known this would turn into a full-fledged battle. But there's no time to turn back now, and we have to come up with a plan. The Harbinger himself will join you at the fortress, together with some Lightbringers.
Lightbringers? So the Purity has actual soldiers now?
That's not really news, is it? They always had the Bane.
What? No, the Bane doesn't belong to the Purity. They believe they do, but the Harbinger has clearly renounced any affiliation with them.
You really believe that? For the Harbinger's right hand, you definitely don't know a lot.
If that's what you want to believe, go ahead. Regarding your question, Tahar, a lot has happened since your escape from Greykeep. More and more people have started to see the light, and it is not just townsfolk and farmers anymore, but also soldiers. They all wish to fight for Aeonir's return, and we guide them.
Well, I just hope you know what you're doing.
We do, trust me.
And how will he do that? If Sentenza has scouts all over the marshlands, he'll see the Purity's army coming from miles away.
That's where you come in. There's a godstone on the mountain of the old castle where your father's laboratory was, and where Sentenza has made his stand. If you kindle it for us, the Harbinger can use his rune to teleport himself and his armies right there.
Huh. That could work.
It will. Aeonir is guiding us, Tahar. Don't ever forget that. I'll wait here to make sure Sentenza's reinforcements don't take us by surprise if they get here before all this is done with.
I still don't understand how Sentenza got wind of this.
I don't know. He is the spy master after all. so I guess it's just one of his many ears who told him.
Bertrand, there's something I'd like to know. What do you make of all this? Do you really think my father is responsible for the Bloodburn?
Well, he must be connected to it somehow. Aeonir himself told the Harbinger this, didn't he? As to why and how, I guess we'll find out.
Can you tell me anything about the marsh?
Well, I take it you're not interested in the folk tales about House Waite's descent into madness, so... No, not really. The only thing you should watch out for are undead. There's quite a lot of them.
Of course. The Bloodburn.
What do you mean?
The Bloodburn. I don't know how to explain it, but corpses can be affected too. It awakes them.
Oh, that's eerie. Well, but I guess it explains a lot. The swamp has taken hundreds of lives over the years, and if that castle is where the Bloodburn originates from, then, well, you understand.
Once we've secured the Godstone, what then?
The Harbinger will know, but I assume we will storm the place. Once we're on the island, it should be an easy fight.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
You will. Aeonir's blessings, Tahar. And stay safe. I'll be here if you need me.
Gut. Mal los.
Jo.
As you want. I will do as I must.
Alter.
Anything on your mind?
Ja, also Schaden machen die zwei schon.
Ja, nicht schlecht.
Fine. Yes, of course.
Huh. Hard to believe there was a time when people actually lived here.
They still do in the east. And while the environment may be hostile, I do not think the villagers have many troubles with raiders.
Krass, dass sie wirklich jedem Kleider irgendwelche anderen Dialoge gegeben haben.
Ja.
Let us make this quick.
Ich glaube, ich kann mal dahin Hallo sagen.
We'll make short work of them.
Let's see what we can do.
Sure. Got it.
Irgendwas in
This
das
is it.
Huh?
Strange that Sentenza hasn't reacted by now. He must have heard the fighting.
Ich hab gesagt,
Maybe the
Sümpfe sind
storm
was
drowned out
Tolles.
the noise.
Ja.
It's possible.
But not likely.
Warum ich ja schon in DS ausbohren lernt.
You picked the wrong enemies.
As you require. Let us make this quick. As you want.
They will burn.
Ja, Armbrust.
Ja, geil. Oh, da oben müssen wir sein.
That's the godstone Bertrand was talking about. Let's light it.
So, verbinden wir mal.
Harbinger.
Horrible.
Good work, Tahar. Good work, Tahar. The All-Father clearly smiles on us.
The All-Father has nothing to do with this.
Of course. So, this is where you believe the bloodburn comes from. Interesting. When Aenir told me the pariah's blood was involved, I didn't take it so literally. Time to end it.
First of all, we need to get through the gate. Why hasn't General Noria reacted yet? Even if he didn't notice the fighting, he must have seen this teleport.
Because he wants to be the one who ends it.
How do you know?
Because I know men of his kind. He's proud and consumed by his hatred. And he wants to be the one to take you down and me right along with you.
But the Purity is under the Lord Marshal's protection. He can't just kill you.
Well, both Lord Marshal Arendir and the General know by now that I helped you. And even though the evidence wasn't enough to officially sentence me, it will be the moment I show up with you at my side. The only reason the Lord Marshal was willing to cooperate with the Purity for so long was because we had the people behind us. We were always a thorn in their sides. And this, me helping a deserter of the crown, is just what they need.
Then you're taking quite a risk being here.
I'm not. I've told you before. All that is happening according to Aenir's plan. Just have a little faith, Tahar.
Huh. And what now? How do we get past the gate?
Let me take care of it. General Naria. General Naria! Are you ready?
Aren't we walking into a trap?
A battle, but not a trap. Just trust me.
Walking right into the lion's den. This has to be by far the most foolish thing I've ever done.
Just trust the Harbinger. He knows what he is doing.
Yes, of course.
Got it.
There he is.
Oh, nehmen wir mal das an.
A fine plan.
Erst loote ich dich und dann rede ich mit dir.
Was ist das für ein Helm? Ah, Stärke.
So this is how it ends,
It doesn't have to.
doesn't it? What do you suggest, Corporal Tahar? That I let a traitor run free? Together with his lunatic cultist friend who is scheming against the crown? No. We both know that's not an option.
These people in Leonon were innocent. How often do you want me to tell you?
You didn't know! All you had was the word of some elven traitor, yet you risked the life of an entire city for it. Believe me, of all the atrocities I've seen in war, almost all of them are caused by people believing they are doing the right thing. Because that's all it was. You didn't want to save those villagers because you thought they were innocent. You did it because you wanted to be the savior. Vanity. That's what it was all about. And I get it. Part of this is on me. I thought I succeeded in making you a warrior, a servant of the crown, but I failed, and I didn't even see it. You're just like your father.
By the light, General, we both want the same thing. To end the bloodburn, shouldn't we be helping each other instead?
You're as bad as them, Carpal. Enslaving yourself to this madman rather than facing death like a soldier. You're just a coward.
That's not...
Don't, Bertrand. It's pointless.
Korrekt.
We know where the bloodburn comes from, Sentenza. It's this castle. If you kill me, we may never stop it.
Why? What can you do that we, the Royal Army, can't? But thank you for the information. I had been wondering what the fabled Rondar Lacane and the prodigal corporal wanted in this marsh. Now I know.
You couldn't stop the bloodburn even if you killed us. It's not how Aenir wills it.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, if you're so eager to spill blood, then fine. Let's get this over with.
We will. Men, you know what to do.
Give me a moment to focus.
Also AOE kann drohen, ganz ehrlich.
So, kann er aber vielleicht auch. Ja, kann er.
Ja.
You picked the wrong enemies.
Ah, hier seine Ads weg.
You're serious about this, aren't you? Fine. Is that all?
This is wrong.
He's gone. I'm sorry it had to come to this, Tahar.
It was his choice.
It was. Now let us end this. Whatever causes the bloodburn is right below our feet. And maybe even some more answers to the questions you've been asking yourself all along the way.
Tell me, given that we find and cure the bloodburn down there, what then?
Then we are one step closer to the return.
What kind of answers?
Well, maybe there was more to your father than you thought.
I'm ready.
Good. You lead the way. Bertrand, you secure the fortress. I doubt there will be Northander reinforcements soon, but we need to be sure.
Of course. Good luck to you, my friend. My prayers are with you.
Guild. Rein ins Labor.
As you descend the dank stairway of Castle Waite, a memory flickers across your mind. Your father, standing over your cradle, eyeing you with a mixture of affection, indecision, and disgust. Almost like an archaeologist looking at a strange discovery. The memory disappears as soon as you and your companions reach the bottom of the stairs. Your father's sanctuary, as if touched by skeletal hands. A cold manifests on your shoulders, slithering, creeping, crawling slowly towards your chest.
So this is it?
This place is definitely where the strange magical signature of the marshland comes from.
But what causes it?
We will find out soon enough.
Warum zieht hier noch die Fackel brennen?
Die Frage stellt man sich in sehr vielen RPGs.
Da hast du recht.
Ich meine, kommst du in irgendeine Kackgruft, die seit 10.000 Jahren verlassen ist, jo, die Fackeln brennen noch.
Fine. I will do as I must. Let's see what we can do.
I understand.
Tiara's breath. What was that?
It looks human.
I highly doubt that. Whatever they are made of, it's not real flesh, and they don't have any aura, not even a leftover. They have either been dead for a very long time or never were alive to begin with.
What are you implying?
That they've been created somehow. Didn't you tell us about this nightmare you've had since you were a child, Tahar? The one in which you saw these bizarre constructs.
Of course. These are the things from my dream.
That's interesting, to say the least.
Aus dem Gottstein.
Ja, das wird erstmal.
As you want. Yes, of course. Everything has an end. We'll make short work of it. You picked the wrong enemies. Let's see what we can do. Certainly. Ah, yes.
Nice.
Jo, dann haben wir schon mal die
Fine
Platte.
Spiritualmonstrum.
Fine.
Blazes, do you see that?
It walks by the light.
It reacts. This is fascinating.
Do you understand me? What happened here? What are you? Huh. It seems to understand us. At least a little. Do you know anything about the blood burn? What are you? Did Isamo create you? I think we're wasting our time here. Let's push on.
We should kill it.
What?
This entire place. It's a blasphemy. Only the All-Father should have the power to shape life like that. And we should free this thing from its suffering.
I disagree. Creating life from dead flesh, life that persists and is able of primitive sentience, it's a remarkable feat. If anything, we should return to study it once all this is over.
Meine Meinung kennst
Just
du.
what I'd have expected of a defiler.
Wie meinst du deine Meinung?
Du weißt genau, was ich sagen würde.
We will not kill this thing. It's harmless.
Yep.
All right. Then do as you wish.
Das wäre jetzt auch, war jetzt auch meine Meinung.
Das ist faszinierend. Vorne ist.
Hat nicht irgendwie alles noch Rechtes zu tun, was es will aus seinem Leben, so ungefähr, auch wenn es vielleicht komisch erschaffen wurde.
Blasphemy. No human should have the power to shape life like this.
Nervt mich.
Yes, of course. As you require. As you want.
More of them. How many did he create?
Fine. I will do as I must.
Dann Helm finde ich, habe ich schon ewig nicht mehr gefunden.
Oh.
Sure.
Yes, of course.
Got it.
Let us make this quick.
I understand.
Gut, ich würde mal sagen, aber wir beenden hier erst die Folge, weil das wird zu lang.
Jo. Bis zum nächsten Mal.
Jawohl, tschüss.
Ciao.